welcome back or welcome to my YouTube channel. This is, I can't believe it's already past September and October, but well, I'm saying it, this is my September reading wrap up. This month was well, as you can see, a tiny stack, so only like about 8 or 9 books. Well, which for some people that's a lot, some people that's average. For me, that's actually quite a little. Usually I read like 20 books in a month, things like that, but I've just been swamped this month, so I've also been like, you know, pretty busy and not really been able to read too much. And also I went to a little mini slump at one point in the month, which sucked as well. But I did manage to read 8, so I will be going through all of these and telling you my thoughts on them. Also, if you notice the camera's moving a bit more, it's because I am filming with my hand today, not my stand. Just because I was a bit lazy to put it up, but yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. Starting it off with my last and most recent read, it's Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. Also, I'm really sorry about the lighting. I'm filming this at night because I just remembered, I was like, oh my god, it's October 1st tomorrow. So I wanted to give you guys the reading wrap up on time this time. But yeah, this was actually my last read of the month. It's well, it's my last read of the month. It's a romance book and it was amazing. This is honestly one of the best second chance romances I've ever read. Also, by the way, if you guys want to see my current reads, all my reviews and things like that, go check out my Goodreads. The link to that and all my other socials are in my bio at the bottom of my description. And also add me as a friend. I love having new book besties. Anyway, continuing, this was honestly one of the best second chance romances I've ever read. Like, it was so good. I loved how the present point of views are pretty much 90% in her point of view and the past was in his. I love how we got to see the past, and I love how it was just like so perfectly timed, the things we learned about their past while they're in the, you know, present and stuff. I loved the slow burn. I loved just everything about this book, and yeah, the spice was on point as well. There was so much tension and longing, and it was just a really, really good read, and I'm super happy that I read it. So yeah. Next up, we have the second and final book in the Shepherd King duology, Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. I actually read the first book, One Dark Window, right there. You've hopefully probably seen this on BookTok or BookTube because it was everywhere for a while. So I decided to buy both the books in the series, and I read One Dark Window about 2 months ago, I think in August, or it could have been July, I'm not sure. But I honestly, it wasn't that good for me. One Dark Window I'm talking about. One Dark Window just, it was so hyped up, you know, kind of like Divine Rivals for me, that I expected it to be this some like phenomenon, but it wasn't. It was just like, it was like, you know, it was a good book. It just wasn't anything special. And so I rated that one about 3.5 stars, but this one was 4 stars, and this one was definitely better than that one. I really liked how they ended it, how they kind of, you know, finished up, tied all the loose ends, and didn't leave anything hanging too badly, you know. There's always going to be like a little, oh, you know, they lived happily ever after, but you never really know what happens after that, or they didn't for some characters. I don't know. But I really like the adventure, the just fantasy of this book. The world building is great. I love this world. It's so magical and so special, and I love how we got to see Elm's point of view, and I love Elm and well, I'm not going to spoil, but you know whose love story if you've read this book. It just did it for me. That was probably what gave me the most, you know, like happiness about this book. I feel like the last book, The Couple, that was in there, that's also in this book technically, just wasn't like super special for me. It wasn't anything special, but I feel like this couple in this book that just kind of started, you know, only started in this book, was definitely much better. And so yeah, I rated it 4 stars. I'm happy I read this series, but it's not like, you know, it's gonna be in my top 10 best fantasy reads of 2024 or anything. It was, you know, it was good. Going back to romance, we have Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. I got this book when I went to the States this summer because, first off, I've been wanting to read this book for a while, and second, I didn't realize there was such a cute cover of it. I thought it was the other one, which honestly, personally, I found a bit ugly, but compared to this one's just so cute, and it just gives such fluffy contemporary romance vibes, and it really was. It was spectacular. I love this book. I think I rated it like 4.5 stars or something. It was so good. It was so cute. It was just exactly what I needed to like curl up and read a cozy romance book. My book bestie, Amber, sometimes reads on TikTok. Go follow her, by the way. Read this book, her first ever 6-star read, I think, and she was like obsessed with it for a while. So I was like, okay, yeah, I've got to read this because I've heard good things about it, but then, you know, I just trust her. She's given me quite a few really amazing recommendations. And yeah, and this one turned out to be really great as well. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was super cute. I love the humor. I love the banter. I love the just how perfectly good it was. It was like, I don't know. It was just something special about this book. It was just really, really good. And also just be sure to check the trigger warnings because the author did write a little message at the beginning of the book, which I did read, and I'm glad I did because there were a couple of trigger warnings in there, so that way I could just warn you guys as well. But if you're fine with anything, then yeah, go read this book. Also with the trigger warnings, they pretty much all of them, they barely pass over them, they brush over them. It's like a joke about them or something, so it's not like, you know, deep talk about them. But yeah, that is just the only thing I would tell you guys about it. Just check out for those. But otherwise, yeah, this was a really, really cute read and I loved it. Then we have My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jodie Meadows. If you haven't watched this TV show on Prime Video, go watch it right now. It's so funny. It's so cute. I was like, this is literally what all book girlies need to watch. It's kind of like Maxton Hall. I don't know if you guys have watched that on Prime Video as well. Or My Life with the Walter Boys, which is also on Netflix. It's just perfect. And those are all book adaptations. I didn't realize this came from a book as well. And it's so good. There's like, they've changed the plot in the TV show compared to the book. But it's the same, you know, kind of foundation, and most of it is the same, but there are some things that change it and make it so much better when you read the book, because you're like, oh my gosh, I did not expect that because I thought this was gonna happen, you know? I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was super cute. And yeah, I would definitely be reading this series because I absolutely love the TV show, and I really, really, really hope they make a season 2. Then we have this bad boy, When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. Whew, this one's a big read. This was about 700, 800 pages, I think. Huge. And actually worth it. For a while, I saw nothing but this book on my For You page. Everybody was like hyping it up. So I thought, yeah, okay, I'm gonna try this book because what if it turns out to be like the next Fourth Wing or something? It was really good. It wasn't like, you know, Fourth Wing level, for me personally, Fourth Wing level or ACOTAR level, but it was still a really good read. At the beginning of the book, just as a warning, if you guys are going to read this, there is like kind of a glossary. I would skim over it. I don't think you need to memorize anything because you can always go back and like read it. I tried to like read over every single one, but I was just getting bored and I was like, okay, I want to start the book. And then I did, and I just went back for the things that I didn't really understand. And it worked out fine for me. I really enjoyed this book. It's quite thick. It's definitely more higher level fantasy because there's a lot of world building in well, not too short amount of time, but yeah. There's romantasy, there's fighting, there's strong female main character, there's dragons, there's mythical creatures, there's so many different things. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed this book. And I would definitely recommend it. So then we have the third and final book in the Belladonna trilogy series. I don't know if she's going to create another series that connects in this world. I hope she does. It's really, really good. But yeah, Wisteria. This book was actually just released this month, and of course, since it was released, I had to go online and buy it. And I'm so glad I did. I love the ending to this story. I love just the world, the characters, the way Adeline Grace writes. It's so beautiful. It's so like, it's literally like a song. It's like music. It's amazing. I absolutely adored this series. I love the world. I love the characters. I love the mystery. I love everything about it. And honestly, this book was a really great way to like kind of close up the series. I thought it was going to be a sad ending. It's not, just for those of you who don't like sad endings. But yeah, it was so good. It was really, really, really worth it, honestly, this series. So I would definitely recommend it. Honestly, I think that most people would really like this, and I think it's a super underhyped series. Then we have what is going to be my personality for probably the next month as well. The Zodiac Academy Book 1, The Awakening. Oh my gosh, when you guys said this was good, it is so good. Literally, like, this much through, maybe like 40% through, I was obsessed already. I wanted the rest of the series. I wish I had bought the series so I could binge read this. And guess what? I bought the series. If you guys watch my shorts, you'll know that I just did a book haul. Book 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are at my house, are in my bookshelf. I'm going to be reading this. That is going to be my personality. I'm telling you guys in advance, that is literally going to be all I read. I'm going to finish the series. I'm going to read the series prior to that, in between book 3 and 4, because I heard that that's a good way to read it, because book 4 has spoilers for that series. I am going to be absolutely feral about this world. I loved this book. It was so good. It was so good. Honestly, I wanted to rate it 6 stars, but I stopped myself because I was like, okay, it's the first book in the series, you know? Rate the ones that, like, you know, start going into it and then rate them 6 stars. Don't go, you know, bam, straight into 6 stars. I rated it 5 stars. Honestly, in my brain, this is a 6-star read. It was incredible. It was spectacular. It was amazing. It was so good. It was a bully romance. It's fantasy. It's romancy. It's right on point. It's amazing. I adored it. Then we have the first read of the month with its gorgeous sprayed edges, The Shadows Between Us by Tricia Levenseller. Okay, so I'm going to put book 2 of the series since I read that too with this. I have The Darkness Within Us by Tricia Levenseller with its gorgeous sprayed edges as well. And this is book 2 in this hopefully series. I think there's going to be a 3rd book coming out. I really hope there's a 3rd book coming out because this was incredible. Honestly, I've read Daughter of the Pirate King by Tricia Levenseller before, and it was like, you know, it wasn't amazing, it wasn't spectacular, it wasn't anything, you know, I would really talk about. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't good, and it wasn't exciting for me. So I was very skeptical when I got into this because I realized that it was the same author after I bought it, and I was like, oops, you know, because I thought that I would not like it. But guess what? I loved it. I loved this series. It was so good. Absolutely spectacular. Out of both of them, I honestly loved this one more, but they were both just amazing. The slow burn, the banter, the enemies to lovers, the humor, just everything about it. The world, the characters, the strong female main characters. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I love how also I thought that these were both going to connect, and that story was going to be about the same characters in that story. It's the same world, not the same characters' point of view. These are both the sisters, so there's the younger sister in that one and the older sister story in that one. I thought it was going to continue. I was like, what's she going to do with that? Is she going to make them break up? And I was like, please, no. Because that one ended on, like, you know, the perfect note. I was like, that doesn't mean to me anymore. That's, like, excessive. And when I realized it wasn't anymore, I was like, yes, oh my god, more. So I gobbled this up. I absolutely loved it. and I really hope you guys do too. All right, well, that is my September reading wrap up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely go add me on all my other socials. Go like, subscribe, share, comment, do all of that stuff. Go check out my shorts, my community page. TikTok, I post stories. Instagram, I post little boards. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Love you all. See you.